انگلستان اجلاس پارلمانی درباره اشرف، وظایف انگلستان، آمریکا، اتحادیه اروپا و سازمان ملل متحد. اعضای مجلس اعیان انگلستان: لورد کارلایل، لورد فریزر، لورد جاد، بارون استرنر، لورد کاتر، لورد کلارک، لورد کینگ. اعضای مجلس عوام انگلستان: دیوید ایمس، برایان وینلی، مارک ویلیامز، راجر ویلیامز. وکلا و حقوقدانان و کارشناسان برجسته بین المللی: گای گودوین گیل، دیوید وون، مالکوم فاولر.
You don't mind if we make a start now, because we have so many distinguished speakers, it would be wrong to cut the time down later on. Colleagues and friends, we are again making our protest at the despicable actions of the mullahs regime as they continue the pressure on Nouri al-Maliki to further intimidate and threaten the people of Ashraf. This pathetic puppet of the mullahs has been condemned throughout the free world for acting under the orders of the Iranian regime. We welcome the recent appointment of Jean de Wright as Special Advisor to the European Union on the issue of Camp Ashraf. The appointment by the EU's Chief of Foreign Policy, Baroness Ashton, she's actually fulfilled something. When we went over, some of us went over and pressed the European Union for such an appointment, and I'm delighted that Baroness Ashton has fulfilled not only our wishes but her promise. We wish him, Mr. de Wright, well as he pursues his brief to assist the international community to find a lasting solution for the residents of Camp Ashraf. I think our government should start to look at its own principles. They should see that as this deadline at the end of the year is coming for the people of Ashraf, all the recent signs are that the regime, through its puppet in Iraq, is preparing to end this worry that they have that these 3,400 people are a threat to their stability. Colleagues, I think it's time the United Kingdom actually backed Madam Rajavi in her call for the United Nations to do something positive. We want the United Nations in Camp Ashraf.
It's very good to be back here to reiterate support we have known in the past of the threats that exist against the unarmed residents of Camp Ashraf. We now face the spectacle of an illegal timeline set out by the Iraqi authorities, which, if not stopped, if not remedied, 3,400 of our friends, unarmed Iranians, to whom we provided guarantees to protect and to whom international law demands we protect, will be at grave risk, because we know the record of Mr. Maliky. We know his close and deep association with those people in Tehran. We know the risks of that association for the people of Ashraf. And that's why it is so important, and was so important, that the EU took the important step of appointing Baroness Ashton as an EU envoy. It's why it's important that the United Nations recognise those residents as asylum seekers. The banner behind me talks about the role of the UK, US, the EU and UN. And in the good tradition of being a liberal internationalist, I again reiterate the call that was put forward so eloquently by Lord Clark for this government to take this matter seriously. I was there in the House of Commons the night the prescription of the PMOI was lifted. That was a proud moment. Many of you were outside the House of Commons celebrating that night. I also want to think and reflect on the human rights issue with a report into human rights abuses in Iran. And there's one image that sticks on my mind more than any other. I used to be a primary school teacher in rural West Wales. I used to teach 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds.